Good morning, everybody. This is actually being done with the phone. I'm getting some of the little pieces painted up and cleaned up. Uh, Now, this flywheel goes inside that bell housing, and outside of uh, when you actually set the timing through this entrance right here. Outside of that, nobody's ever going to see this. But the reason I went ahead and I sanded it down, wire brushed it down, and cleaned it off, and painted it is simply for protection. That's it. You know, new nice coat of paint. It's going to protect it for a while. I really doubt that it could rust through. But anyway, so I told you about my engine stand yesterday that came, and it fits a Chevy like a dream. It doesn't fit a Chrysler. In fact, it even at one point folded over and laid the motor over on its side. But what I did was, I'm not sending it back. It's more hassle than it's worth for less than $40 item. Because this marine oil pan has these two little extra tabs on it with holes, I just made cross braces there that really do the job that normally the pin and a bolt would do had this been drilled properly. The front is a little short, so what I did was I sandwiched the end there in between one of the regular motor mounts, and I did the same thing on the other side here. You know, basically all it's got to do is keep the front of the engine up, and that's fine and dandy. I mean, it has really nothing more to do than that. It takes up a whole lot less space than that big, huge contraption that I had before. And if I were to get to the point where I wanted to actually put the transmission and stuff back on, while it's on this, I can cut this corner down, which would be easy enough to do. Cut this corner down, round it off so I can put this on the front of the thing, and then I would also modify my cross braces so the thing doesn't fall over. This would then slide forward well enough for me to put it in the bolt hole for the mounting plate, or it would slide back, I guess, however you want to look at the dolly goes forward or the engine goes backwards. But yeah, I could do that if I needed to. Another couple of options I got that I could do would be spacers, longer bolts here, which is doable. You know, it's just one of those things that's a bridge I'll cross when I come to it. So I'm going to keep on working on stuff. We got a whole bunch of stuff in yesterday, so I'll show you. I got some more disc, abrasive disc. For the sandblaster, I got mask. I got my Axel coil wires. I got my flamethrower coil. I got my new distributor cap, manual oil pressure pump, or manual oil pressure gauge. I actually had an issue with the one that I had in the other video, and I took it back and asked them if they'd be so kind as to switch the head out for me, and they actually just gave me a whole brand new in the package one and told me, there you go, have a good day, sorry you had an issue, which is really good. I mean, I'll give Pep Boys props for that. I have rubber bands and baggies today with me. The rubber bands and the baggies will go around these. You put a little baggie over there, put a little tape around it, put a little baggie over it, slide it down, put a rubber band on there and make it nice and snug. I know you're going to say, well, Bill, why are you going to bother to put you know, tape on it and then put a baggie on top of that? Well, just because I don't want nothing in there. You know, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't want any sand in my cooling system. I'm going to plug these holes here for my exhaust ports because I don't want any sand in my exhaust ports. You know, this plate is bolted down here. I will probably actually take that plate off, and I will make a cardboard, big, thick gasket you know, just by a piece of cardboard, push down over the things, and then screw that down on there again. Just because, you know, it'll lift it up a little bit, but it'll also give me a nice gasket to keep me from getting sand in the intake. Once I'm done, of course, I'm going to wrap this up. These aren't going to get touched here. I'm going to wrap the distributor up, pull the cap off, cap wires, everything just like I did the last time, and I've probably still got that same plastic bag floating around here somewhere, so I'm gonna put that plastic bag around her, and then, you know, I'll go ahead and tie that up with a zip tie or something on the bottom, and then we'll be ready to start sandblasting that with my sandblaster. But anyway, so that's where I'm at today. I just kind of want to touch base with you guys a little bit. Oh yeah, another thing too, I'm going to pull both of these off. These are going to be black. This is going to be black. That fuel pump is coming off. And this, after it's painted, this chrome blocker plate's going to go there because I'm going to run an electric fuel pump. I'm going to run an electric fuel pump, and I'm going to have a switch here to shut the fuel pump off if we lose oil pressure. That way, if the engine stops and the key's on, the pump doesn't continue to run. The idea behind that is that the fuel in your carburetor, the bowl of your carburetor, after you shut off, should be enough for your engine to start. Once your engine starts and pressure hits that switch back there, then it tells the fuel pump that it's okay to go ahead and run. A safety feature. If something really bad happens and the engine shuts off, you won't have this thing pumping fuel. You know, especially if one of the lines get cut or something, you're not going to have this thing pumping fuel all over the place inside your bilge, possibly exacerbating a bad situation or making a bad situation out of something that probably wasn't so bad. And I know I tend to babble, and I hope you guys don't mind. I mean, if you're watching, I guess you don't mind too much, but part of the reason is because I know a lot of this stuff at one time I did not know. You know, and while I didn't make any, you know, deadly mistakes because of my lack of knowledge, I really think that there are things that could have been better. I could have done things better. I could have had better knowledge of things, known what was going on and such. So, you know, it's not bad. No big deal, realistically. Just want to make sure that, you know, if I can share something with you guys that will help you guys, I'd like to do that. So, all right, I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Okay, well, I kept looking at the things and looking at the things, and I found out that I could stretch this forward just a little bit and force a bolt down through it, which works decidedly better than the sandwich. So that's what I did, and I just wanted to put that in here. So, you know, I'm taping things up, getting ready to paint. So I'll be back. All right, here we go. I have the exhaust manifolds ports, or the exhaust ports, covered. I have the water jacket parts covered, and of course the exhaust ports covered here. Distributors wrapped up, thermostat housings wrapped up, pulled the pulley off the front. I covered up the intake and outlet on that fuel pump because the fuel pump's actually so good, even though it looks nasty. And I don't want to get sand in it, so I went ahead and covered that up anyway because it's going to stay on the block until after it, you know, I get the thing stripped, because it's nice and sealed and there's no point in pulling it off right now. Okay, that's it for this time, for right now. Be right back. All right, everybody, I'm back. Putting this together. Ooh, stuff. To be honest, I didn't actually expect I'd have to assemble it this much, but that's fine. It won't be a big deal. Just it's all pretty and shiny right now, so I figured I'd share it before that changed much. See you in a bit. All right, everybody. I put together my trusty sandblaster, and as you can see, it's snowing outside. Well, you probably can't see that, but anyway. I was going to do some inside, but it just really puts too much sand inside. So I decided to just open the garage door and sit outside with the majority of my work. So at least that way I'm blowing the dirt out of the garage. Of course, probably wouldn't hurt to have that dirt on the garage floor to soak up some of that oil. Anyway, so what I've done is I took this, which is it's a coupler plate. Some people call it a vibration damper because it absorbs the shock of going into forward or reverse from either one, or even from neutral, or if you happen to hit something with your propeller. And if I sound a little funny, here's why. I look like a Frito Bandito, just without the sombrero. Anyway, so that piece of metal used to look rusty. And this is what it looks like now from the sandblasting. So you see the other work I've already done up here. What I'm going to do is, for the purposes of showing you guys, I'm going to take and I'm going to move this over there in front of my vehicle, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the sandblaster and I'm going to work on some of this, and then I'll come back to you and I'll give you a picture, a little bit of you know, let you see what it's doing, and then I'll go ahead and do the rest of it so I can finish it off. Anyway, that's all for now. Real quick. Thank you. I'm gonna try and get this painted before it's too late today. I hit it with the sandblaster. Yeah, I'm sure you can see. I'm not gonna go through every little bitty thing. I just put it this way. Stuff that used to be really, really rusty, like that, comes out looking like this from the sandblaster. So, all right, let me get back to work. Talk to you in a bit. Hey everybody, I'm back. Now I'm spray painting this black, same reason as I did the flywheel, if you recall. Actually, the flywheel's over here. Yay, flywheel. And flywheel. And the flywheel bolts. Anyway, for all that it matters for that, it doesn't need to be nothing but maybe cleaned off. However, good coat of paint on it. Take the rust off, good coat of paint on it. It will definitely help it last longer. Painting some more of my little separate things. That's the actual front pulley for the harmonic balancer. Here's the engine as it's painted, taped off. You know, a little bit shaky here. I'm trying not to be too god-awful shaky. Obviously, as I said, the fuel pump's coming off, so it doesn't matter that there's spray on that oddball. And the engine will get a oil and filter change again after I'm done, so that will come off. I tried to get a good coat. Some of these are actually going to get replaced, so I didn't worry about them too much. And of course, I wrapped the distributor. Now, this is pretty much where I'm going to be on this engine for today, and the reason is it needs to sit here, and this paint really needs to dry. I got some good heavy coat on it. It's a good heavy paint. It's Chrysler Blue, Marine Color Vision, Chrysler Blue, number 25340. So, and danger, it is extremely flammable. From whatever. So it means it's one of those things that can make you go boom. As I start putting things back together now, you guys are going to start seeing some changes, some different things and you'll start seeing a little bit of the vision that I have for this, and I hope you like it. When we get to that point, we'll see. Anyway, that's it on the engine for now. Got a bell housing to clean, transmission to get ready to paint. And just for you guys' information, this transmission is a velvet drive made by Borg Warner. See if I can get it to focus. Focus! Oh man, that sucks. And that sucks when I'm in the way. How about I get over here and try this again? There you go. It's a Borg Warner velvet drive. Basically, it's a miniature automatic transmission. It's got tranny fluid that circulates in it. It doesn't have a torque converter per se. The vibration damper or coupler plate or whatever the heck you want to call it, because it's really not a vibration damper. If we're going to look at a vibration damper in its purest form, that harmonic balancer dampens the vibrations of the engine by balancing it, and it has a little rubber ring in there between the outer part and the main mount to absorb excess vibration. But anyway, that's, you know, neither here nor there at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and work on some of this other stuff, and I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, everybody. Get the bell housing off of the transmission, and I cleaned it up a little bit. I'm out of black paint. John had made a suggestion to paint it black, and I actually like that suggestion. I did my coupler, got my tools over here. I got these painted, 2 brackets go on the back of the head and the front of the head, and then the pump pulley for my water pump. Of course, I got the harmonic balancer pulley painted. We saw the, there it is in the crate, the alternator pulley. There's a valve cover breather, oil cap. I went a little silly on this because this PCV valve actually comes apart. So this is the inside of it that goes down into the valve cover, and then, oh, sorry, and then, you know, this cover goes over the top of it. Well, I went ahead and painted that cover blue because we're going to have black rubber when I peel it off. We're going to have black rubber right there. And we're going to have a blue top, and then we're going to have a black hose going to the carburetor, and I just figured, what the heck, right? So, tomorrow I'll get that cleaned out. I did, while this is taking loose, I did go ahead and I cleaned the interchange, or the heat exchanger, whatever you want to call it. I pulled the mounts off of here. The flywheel's over here done. I'm doing a little painting. Now let that screw dry. That screw actually goes to this cover, which goes right here. And if you notice, I painted the pointer, because that's where we check the timing at. I painted the pointer blue. So we're going to have blue nut, black cover, blue pointer, black flywheel. So that's it. That's actually a very small air breather. I actually have a flame arrestor. I actually have a larger flame arrestor somewhere for it. So battery's on charge. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.